So Highland Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with...
And I'm Sounder.
And we're asking some questions today about our new EP, Choke. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to it so far?
Thank you. It's been great. Yeah, it's fun to come back to that pop punk space. It's been, what we were just talking about, a few years since I've been there. So yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, the EP is awesome.
Yes, it's fucking incredible.
Thank you.
Hell yeah. I was reading through the press release and noticing that like this is kind of an end of an era for you. You're teasing into this new sound. Can we talk a little bit about the sound change, why you're heading in that direction, what fans can expect, all the fun stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. So pop punk is where I started. I started in pop punk bands in high school as a teenager, learning how to write music and stuff like that. So writing these songs was definitely nostalgic and kind of a nod to that. But I've always been like an emo kid, a scene kid, listening to like post-hardcore, screamo, all of that. So to be moving in a direction of more like grungy, heavier, darker sounds, like late 90s, early 2000s alternative is really more true to me. And even aesthetically speaking, that whole motif of the kind of like dark, vampy situation is much more me. Not that I don't love pop punk and not that it's not fun to create in that, but this is where I've always wanted to go. And I think I had a lot to learn before I could pull off the sounds that we are making now. So the next, we have almost a full album done, and all of those songs are in this new space.
Okay.
That's so exciting.
Hearing you talk about it gets me excited because, like as I said, reading the press release and it was just the term alternative, and that is such a wide.
It
net.
It is broad.
But when you get into the nitty gritty and talk about your influences, like that's the shit I listen to. So like, of course, I love pop punk, but you saying that has me very excited for the future because I've loved what you've done previously. But now you're coming right into my space. So my space as in what I listen to, and also the era. So I'm excited for sure.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very much looking forward to it as well. It's nice to feel like I'm in a place artistically and vocally and songwriting wise where I can actually bring the songs that I've kind of always had in my head, but actually like bring them to fruition. And even like the vocal performance and vocal ability changes that I've seen over the last couple of years are really exciting. Where in these songs I'm like, dang, I don't know, I could do that. Heck yeah, let's go.
Hell yeah.
So was it pretty much just a matter of like you kind of had to feel like you had to get to a certain point to finally attack that kind of sound?
Yeah, I think in multiple ways. Like I had a lot of growing to do as a human being. I had a lot of self-worth and confidence to build in that space where, I started in dance music. I've built a career in that. And then pop punk was something that's like, yeah, I can do that. I've done that for a lot of years. And this more grungy, heavier alternative stuff is like, I love that. I listen to it every day, but I don't have as much experience in writing that. And I definitely vocally don't have as much experience in performing that. So it took a lot of me just like, okay, I believe in myself. I believe in this project. I believe that we can go where I want to go. And then also just writing it, it takes a long time to kind of get into that space, the pocket of I can write these songs in this genre and like really crush it. And a lot of experimenting.
Makes sense.
Damn straight. Well, yeah. And is there any meaning behind the EP title or cover art?
The cover art is so the title is just the Choke, the single, the main single, which was such a fun song to write, and I felt was such a powerful statement where it's like kind of that feminine rage thing that and then the cover art, we wanted to just have it stand on its own. I wanted to do something that wasn't just like super overly complicated or anything like that. I wanted to be the focal point, and I wanted this the TVs, the motifs of the TVs that are played into and actually End of the World to kind of stand on their own of like, what does this mean? Does this have a deeper meaning? And it does. The TVs and What We Deserve are talking about us being connected to screens.
All day, every day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about the writing process for the EP?
Absolutely. These were some of the first couple of songs I was writing with my producer, Blue, who I've worked with now for, I think it's 3-ish years, but all of the new SOUNDR stuff since BOK, I think it was, is all with Blue. And these were kind of like almost experiments of, okay, we've never written together, we've never made music together, we've never composed together. Let's just see what we can do. And to have that be, these two songs be like the first output of that is like, dang, okay, I think we could do this. I think that we've found an alignment there. Um, and for Choke, I was going through a lot of transitions in my life of like who was in my life friendship wise, who I was working with, different people involved in the project, and so much frustration that goes into that and dealing with that space and being able to express it. And I think also, I was talking about this yesterday, but also as like a female in music and a female in society, a lot of the times we're not supposed to feel those things, not supposed to feel the anger, aggression, or whatever. So to be able to just be like, all right, I feel this way. Let's write a song about it. Let's make it pop punk. Let's make it, a headbanger, drive in your car, scream it kind of song was really cool. And End of the World is, like we were just talking about, kind of a testament to how dependent on and how connected we are to screens and how easy it is to like forget that there's actually a world out there when we're just connected all the time.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Completely fair. And what song, what song off the EP took the longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
Ooh, I actually think both of them were fairly quick. Um, but End of the World probably took a little bit longer because we wanted to be kind of quick-witted. We wanted to be creative with it and just like really nail those lines. And also, I had to kind of convince myself that I was okay just like calling out the behavior, calling out the social media behavior, the trending behavior, and stuff like that because the song is literally, I mean, it's pretty on the nose, being like, this is ridiculous. We need to change this behavior.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Choke is probably my favorite of the two, just because it's so reminiscent of those songs that I had on repeat over and over and over as a teenager.
Yeah, I got
Oh
you.
yeah, that's dope.
So for this question, I want you to pick your favorite lyric off the EP and tell us the meaning behind it.
The line that I was just talking about of like convincing myself I'm okay saying this, it says, I don't mean to be condescending, but nobody cares whether you're trending. And it's very on the nose. Like I said, it's kind of one of those things, especially as an artist, where it's like we do depend on social media, we do depend on trending, if you will. So to be in a space of like calling that out and not having a problem with that was, yeah, a little bit of a gut check, as silly as that sounds, but it's also a quick-witted line that I was proud of. We wrote that and I was like, oh, dang, okay, let's do
Where did that
it.
come
It's a
from?
fire
Yeah,
line.
right.
I'm curious, like, if you struggle at all with like the fact that you have to be an artist and also be basically a content creator in this space. Like, is that something you struggle with, or are you able to kind of naturally flip-flop between the two?
No, I definitely struggle with it. There are times where like with the last song that we did and like the mental health release and all of that kind of stuff, in that space it's not as challenging for me because it's so vulnerable and it's so connected and I feel like I can really have those conversations with people that are about real things and about substance. But then outside of that, it's kind of a challenging thing to juggle my desire to connect to people in a vulnerable way and not just like hit these trends and hit the friggin' 7-second reels that people want from you. So I struggle with it for sure. And also like balancing making music and making the art on that front and then also making content and scheduling that in and also, like I own another business, so trying to find places for all of those things and find people who I can work with that I enjoy doing it. It's a bit of a juggling act for sure.
It's pretty much like now artists have two full-time jobs instead of one, and most artists also have like you said, you
Yeah.
have a separate job on the side as well. So, but now the artist, as being an artist, is two jobs. It's insane.
Yeah. There's so many hats you have to wear, and I'm really lucky. My management, Ian, he's so great and so supportive, and has helped a lot with the social media demands and things like that. But at the end of the day, it has to be you on screen. It has to, especially with what I'm doing, I have to be the face of it. I have to be behind it. And honestly, I'm kind of a homebody. I kind of just sit in my sweats and work on music and work most of the time. So it's not this glamorous thing that I'm like, oh yeah, let's set up the tripod, let's take a video. It's like, all right, today's the day. I'm gonna put on makeup. I'm gonna sit down and do content. So it's kind of weird. It kind of disconnects you a little bit from the actual human connection when there's so much effort that goes into making the video.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
Understandable. And would you be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating the EP?
Yes. A lot of frustration, a lot of angst, a lot of just like, what the hell are we doing, like in life in general?
Yeah.
Because I had just moved back from Denver. I moved during the pandemic and didn't really have any friends, didn't have a music community here yet, had just started working with Blue, had gone through some big transitions in that space, and was so frustrated and just like, I don't know what I'm doing. Is
Mhm.
this even
Yeah.
real? Is my career even going to go anywhere? I put so much effort into this, so much time into this, and I think that's why those songs are so fun because it's kind of that rebellion against like, well, I definitely don't know what I'm doing, but we're gonna do this thing, so here's the songs kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you. So how do you recommend your fans to listen to CP for the first time? Should you do it in the car with friends, in the dark with headphones on? Is workout EP, party EP? What do you personally recommend?
Ooh, I'd definitely say headphones. There are some fun little like ear candy things in there, always with the production with Blue, and I
Oh
would try
yeah.
to sprinkle in something like that. And then I don't know, I feel like maybe gym songs, but also for me as a teenager, I always was like just driving with the windows down, like blasting it, screaming at the top of my lungs, like
Mm-hmm.
feeling like I was totally the odd person out and just taking the time to myself. So I would say that's probably where I would say listen to
I'm still doing that, man. It's finally nice outside. Like
Yeah.
people need to
Yeah.
know what I'm listening to.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Spread the
absolutely.
word.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And this one should be super, super quick off the top of your head. I want you to describe this EP for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Oh, that's a hard one. Dang. I'd say maybe nostalgic, um, and angsty and powerful. We'll go with that.
Ooh,
Those are
hell
good.
yeah.
Hell
Damn
yeah.
straight.
And in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the EP?
I don't know that their frustration and all of the feelings are valid, especially like you're talking about with being a female in society and in this industry. Like we all feel anger. We should be able to express it. We should be able to feel it. We should be able to sit in that space and listen to this music and be like, yeah, I was mistreated. Yeah, that was not okay. And same thing with What We Deserve, where it's like, yeah, there are some serious things that maybe as a society we should be frustrated about. We should be upset about. We should feel inspired to shift and change and actually connect as people.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah,
Damn
I love that.
straight. Hell yeah. And are you able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments during the creation of the EP, positive or negative?
Yeah, positive wise, again, kind of this was the first step in exploring that space and proving to myself that I can do it and that, Blue and I work well together and we can make really awesome music together. And then on the challenging side of things, that part too, there's duality to it where it's like this new space and leaving dance music where it's like, I'm writing this music, I really like it. How are we going to bring the fans along? How are we going to yeah, just like inspire people to kind of join us on this journey. And then also with the content around this has been both positive and also really difficult, where we had really awesome ideas and Jordan did an amazing job with creative direction and photography and videography and all of this stuff, but then balancing making the time to make the content, actually edit it and everything like that. So I feel like there's just duality in everything as an artist, well, as a human, but like as an artist for sure, everything
Yeah.
comes at a price or a cost, which is worthwhile. But yeah.
That makes
Damn
sense.
straight.
And for the last couple questions, going to shift completely away from music. So if you could be
Yeah.
one animal for the rest of your life, what animal would you be and why?
Ooh, otter, for sure. They're the
Oh
cutest.
yeah.
They are the cutest, most vicious, terrifying animal, and I feel like that's perfect.
Yeah.
They have their cute little families, and then it's like if you mess with them, they will actually tear you apart.
Yeah, they're gonna fuck you up. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And they just seem so peaceful. They're just hanging out, floating
Mhm.
around, and then yeah, it sounds great. I vote that plan. Reincarnation. I'm gonna
Hell
request
yeah.
that.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'd pick Otter. Yeah, hell yeah. Good
For
pick.
real.
Good pick. And if you could have lunch with any celebrity or artist, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
I don't know. I really enjoy like John Bellion is an incredible songwriter, incredible producer. So I might go that route of being able to spend time with somebody that is so in it and so locked in and unafraid to create authentically. And with his last release too, just releasing it and connecting with people. And again, I know I'm beating a dead horse with this, but like separating from the social media content world and just music for the sake of art and expression and connection. So I think that'd be really cool.
Hell yeah,
Hell
good
yeah,
pick.
agree.
And for this last question, boom, you're on a desert island. You can bring one movie, one album, and one person. Who and what are you bringing?
Oh man. One movie. Probably, okay, I'm gonna say Lord of the Rings all.
Okay.
We're gonna say
Okay.
all that counts. I know it's three,
Okay.
but
Sure.
counts.
The collection, there you go.
Yeah. And then for the album, honestly, I might also say that discography, the soundtrack.
The soundtrack to Lord of the Rings? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, kind of a cheat question or cheat answer because three movies and there's like 40 songs on each one, but hey, whatever. One person. That's so hard. I would say my family, but I don't know if I could pick one of them specifically. I feel like all of us would be so good at being in a survival situation and kind of delegating and making sure everybody stays sane and fed.
Mhm.
And yeah.
All
That's
right.
good.
Fair enough. So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Just social media. Here we go.
Yeah.
Instagram, TikTok, all of that. And then, yeah, streaming on Spotify. We do also have merch that came out with this EP as well. It's so nice. I wear this hoodie all the time. But yeah, it's nice to be here.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, thank you. This has been Sounder, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.